Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird. Happy Friday and welcome back to Wicca 303. We are talking about embracing tradition today, so buckle up. If there is one failing that witches are likely to fall prey to, it's this tendency to try and reinvent the wheel when there was actually no need to do so. In our quest to personalize our craft and our spiritual practice and the delight of our creative endeavors, sometimes we end up trying to fix things that were not broken in the first place, and we are complicating the obvious while trivializing the momentous and just creating a mess when there had been a perfectly acceptable and functional order. This is yet another reason why studying and practicing witchcraft ought not be motivated by a desire to rebel or to make ourselves feel special and unique. It makes things more difficult, and we end up trying to make facts fit our personal theories rather than theorizing in accordance with facts. And we can fool ourselves that the goal of witchcraft is to have as little in common with other practitioners, to be authentic, and in order to feel secure in our own individuality. You can see how this causes problems, most of which are entirely self inflicted. However, the remedy lies in us learning to be willing to take a step back and to see that existing traditions, many of them are actually just fine. They do not pose a threat to our inner self if we participate in them, and adhering to them does not diminish the individualization of our practice in any way. Now, the Yuletide season offers us an opportunity to reset our relationship with tradition if that's been challenging to us in the past. And it's also a chance to deepen that appreciation if we're already comfortable with tradition, at least to a certain degree. Now, embracing tradition does not mean eschewing all innovation and change. It's more about preserving a meaningful and functional core. There can be a great deal of variety within that without wandering off and just losing the entire plot. Now, a couple of examples. The custom of the Yule log. Perhaps you saved up a last bit of last year's tree trunk and you drilled holes into it so you can hold candles and you can decorate it beautifully. Or maybe you have skills with carving wood and you just created a lovely image on the log. Or you've gone the route of making a Yule log cake. But no matter what you're doing or how you're doing it, the key point is that there is a Yule log present for the occasion, whether in actuality or decoratively or in the form of a yummy treat. Then we have another example of the Yule tree. There's no shortage of ideas about how to decorate it exactly to suit your taste, your decor. It can be just purely fun or it could contain all manner of spiritual symbolism. It's really up to you. You're only limited by your imagination and, well, your finances, but mostly your imagination, because where there's a will, I do believe there's a way. But it's important to observe the custom of having that tree, however you choose to dress it. And then the third example I want to bring up is music. I mean, isn't it wonderful and incredible that we live in a day and age when we are treated to such a variety of Yule themed music? Some of it are original pieces by pagan artists, others have been borrowed from the Christian Christmas hymns and just given new lyrics. Yeah, I know. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander after all. The church originally borrowed from us, so I don't see too much harm in borrowing a little back when it suits us. But whether we're using music for ritual, or as part of a sing along, or just as background music during the Yule feast, it adds something to the occasion and the atmosphere to have that music. It's important to maintain that tradition. And these are just three traditions. And I mention them because these customs are fairly universal in the pagan world, and people build memories around these things. And let's be real, it is the sentimental attachment of these traditions and carrying them forward that's part of what gives everything its charm. A witchy life and a pagan life, it isn't some academic exercise or a test to see how well we can copy and paste what we've learned from the past. It's about being part of a living and breathing tradition and experiencing it in a very human way. And our experiencing and experiences, rather, and practicing these cherished traditions and not constantly having to create something from scratch. That's an exercise that belongs in the New Age spiritual camp, not ours. you know, Being able to have that tradition, that's part of what gives us as practitioners common ground and enables us to connect with each other, to connect with our distant ancestors, and to even connect with the gods. You don't stop being an individual just because you practice similar things to others. So there's some food for thought for you this week. Now for our homework for December 15th through December 21st. Number one, meditate about your own feelings regarding tradition. Number two, journal about your experiences with traditions and what carrying on a tradition in a good way would mean to you. And three, do you have personal traditions, whether it's for Yule or anything else in your life? If so, why have you embraced these traditions? And if not, could you envision anything that you would like to make a tradition in your life? So there's a few things for you to chew over and think about in the coming week. Next week, we will be discussing family matters because with all the holidays, whoo, I'm sure the relatives have been out and about and getting into your space and you getting into theirs and in a way that we don't really through the rest of the year. So hope you'll be back for that. In the meantime, comments, questions, concerns, complaints, leave them for me in the comments section below or email me at brigantiablackbird@proton mail.com and I will get back with you just as soon as humanly possible. But that'll do it for now, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.